These are my top 5 rides at the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World. Coming in at number 5 is the Haunted Mansion. This is a slower paced dark ride that takes you through the mansion in their famous Doom buggies. It's at number 5 mainly because it can have a habit of stopping or breaking down. It is an older ride and it can show its age from time to time, but it's fun nonetheless, and I highly recommend you do it. Between the stretching room and the hitchhiking ghost, it's a fun time from start to finish, and I highly recommend this ride to anybody. Coming in at number 4 is one of my childhood favorites, Pirates of the Caribbean. The smell of bromine in the water still brings back memories to this day. It's basically a dark boat ride with a small drop in between. It has really cool scenery and it adds smells to the environment to really help immerse you in the experience. The reason it's at number 4 is mainly because it is a slower ride, which isn't a bad thing. The next 3 on the list are just faster and more exciting in my opinion. And don't get me wrong, just because it's slower doesn't mean it's worse. You will be pleasantly surprised with the atmosphere, the smells, and the scenery. I, in my opinion, think it is a really fun and neat ride that no one should skip. Now we will be getting into more roller coaster style rides. That being said, coming in at number 3 is the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. This is a cute little roller coaster. It's not the fastest, but the atmosphere more than makes up for it. You start off by hopping in a minecart. This minecart is special. It's not like all other roller coasters. Basically, it moves side to side freely with your body weight. So as you're going around turns, it'll shift with the direction that the G-forces go. With it not being the fastest roller coaster, this really adds an extra layer to it that makes it a really enjoyable ride. All in all, it's a really fun little coaster. It has good drops here and there, and it has some pretty good speed behind it. It even goes into a cave portion with a really bright pop of color and a lot of characters. Every time I'm on this ride, I have a really good time. The only major downside to this ride is the wait for it is usually extremely long. It's a fun roller coaster, but sometimes the wait is honestly too much, and that is why it's at number 3. Coming in at number 2 is one of the best roller coasters at Disney in my opinion, and that is Space Mountain. Now do not get me wrong, I feel like I could have swapped this with the Seven Dwarfs a few times, but I went this past Christmas to ride it during the Christmas event, and it was blasting Christmas music in my ears and it was flashing green and red lights. It added a whole new layer to this ride that was just amazing. If you get a chance to go during Christmas, I highly recommend it. It is usually really busy and you do have to buy a ticket to the Christmas party, but it was a really fun experience and it was nice to see all the rides changed up a little bit for the holidays. All in all, it's a really fun, fast-paced coaster that you normally go through in the dark. It is a very jerky ride, I will say, and it will throw you. I would say hold on to anything you have in the cart because the turns are harsh and unforgiving. If you go on a good day, this one usually isn't that bad of a wait. On top of that, it is a Disney staple. It's one of the best known rides at Disney, and honestly, the walk-up is fun. I love the atmosphere and I love the feeling of going through it like you're in space. Like I said, the only downside to this coaster I feel is it is very jerky. If you don't like very harsh roller coasters, I wouldn't ride it. But if you're like me and love stuff like that, you will get off this thing laughing and smiling every time about how fun it was. Before we get into the number 1 pick, if y'all would please hit that like and follow button on this video. It means a lot to me and it keeps you guys updated on any future content I make. And finally, my number 1 pick, and that is a give me. It's Tron Light Cycle Run. I know a lot of people probably wouldn't put this as their number 1 because they say it's too short. And don't get me wrong, it is pretty short. It's a pretty short coaster, but that is due to the fact that it shoots you out at 59 miles per hour of a gateway straight to the outside of the park, surrounded by bright blue neon lights. And then you shoot into a dark section with screens all around you and you're facing your other opponent, which is like the orange team. It is fun and exciting, and we did it 3 times. We paid to get in line for this ride, and I do not regret it for a second. And the best part is, the 3rd time we did it, we got to do it at night, which is absolutely beautiful, being shot out with these bright lights all around you and the park being lit up at night. It's great. It's a fast-paced ride, and it honestly feels like you're flying. This is due to the fact of you are only on the back of a light cycle, strapped in by nothing more than your back and your legs. I honestly can't describe how fun this is over video. I highly recommend this to everyone. please do this ride. It is fun, and I personally believe it puts itself as the #1 ride at Magic Kingdom by a long shot. Don't get me wrong, there are downsides to it as well. It's hard to get on because of the virtual queue, and if you want it in the morning, you do have to pay for it, for now at least. And it is short. Some people may say it's too short and it's not worth it. I say the complete opposite. It is one of the best experiences at Magic Kingdom, in my opinion, and I will do it every single time I go there from here on out.